I'm going to be breaking down the 5-part system that is going to help you master financial literacy, even if nobody ever taught you how money works. So listen, my friends, that is most of us, right? We grew up not learning this stuff. But here's what I need you to understand before we even get started. Your financial future is not determined by where you started. It is determined by what you know and what you consistently apply. Most of us grew up thinking that money was confusing. Budgeting felt very overwhelming, and credit felt extremely scary. Investing felt like it was only for rich folks with degrees in economics. And when that is a picture that people are painting, no wonder most people feel financially stuck before they ever get a chance to get ahead. But I have worked with everyday people, right? Single parents, teachers, retail workers, junior sailors, warehouse employees, and once they learned the right information, they started making good financial decisions instantly. The secret is not perfection. The secret is understanding the rules, my friends, because once you learn the rules of money, you stop playing from behind altogether. And in this video, I'm going to be giving you the exact 5-part financial literacy system that people use to build wealth even on low incomes. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand money in a way that most adults never will. So grab your notebook because we're going step by step. So let's get real for a second here. So nearly 70% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck at the moment. Most adults cannot even explain what a 401k is, how credit scores are calculated, or why their budget never seems to work. And it's not because they are irresponsible, right? It is because nobody ever taught us this stuff at all. So schools taught us geometry, but not how to avoid debt. They taught us Shakespeare, but they did not teach us how compound interest works. The people who get ahead financially are not always the higher income earners. They are the ones who understand how money flows, how to control it, and how to make that money grow. And today, you, my friends, are going to become one of those people. Here's a lie that most people believe. I'm going to get better with money once I start making more. If you struggle with $500, you're going to struggle with $5,000. Simple as that. If you mismanage $200, you are most definitely going to mismanage $20,000 as well. Money only magnifies your habits, okay? It is not going to fix them for you. And once you see money clearly, you're never going to go back to living blindly again. So if you're with me so far, then type money in the comments because we're getting right into it. And I'm about to walk you through the 5-part system. All right, so let's dive into our first step, which is understanding where your money is going. So I know what you're thinking right now. The word budget sounds just about as fun as a crash diet, but it's important for you to understand that most people don't have a money problem. They have a visibility problem. Your money is not running away from you, right? It is quietly disappearing through tiny leaks that you don't even see, like DoorDash, gas station snacks, and random DoorDash orders, or that $13 subscription that you forgot that you signed up for. Now, once you have visibility, the second part of this kicks in, which is building a simple, flexible budget. Now, I know what you're thinking. The word budget sounds just about as fun as a crash diet, but your money needs assignments the moment that it hits your bank account. To get started, you only need to know 2 numbers, what you make and what you spend. That's it. Now you get to choose your map, right? For beginners, the 50-30-20 rule is spectacular because it is very simple. The idea is that 50% of your take-home pay goes towards your needs like housing, utilities, and transportation. 30% goes towards your wants like eating out, hobbies, and subscriptions like that streaming service that you cannot live without. Now, the final 20% is the most important part because it goes towards your savings and paying down your debt. Now, there are other methods, of course, like a zero-based budget where every dollar gets a job, but the 50-30-20 rule is the perfect place for you to start. Now, take David for example. He's a junior sailor in the Navy. He used to try to split his income into 5 different apps and different envelopes, right? But it always failed for him. So we switched him to this 3-bucket system, and he was able to set aside $1,500 for his bills, $500 for his wants, and $400 for his savings. Now, this simple system gave David permission to spend that $500 as discretionary spending guilt-free, while also automatically and simultaneously building his savings as well. So, here's what I want you to do. Write it down, track it, Put it on paper or use my free spending with purpose tracker that I created for this exact reason. It already has the built-in 50-30-20 method built in, and it shows you where every dollar is going and highlights leaks that you did not even realize were happening. I'm going to put the link to this in the description box below. Grab a copy and start tonight. Step number 2 is all about building your financial safety net, aka your emergency fund. So let's be real, life is unpredictable. Your car is going to break down. Medical emergencies are going to pop up. And without a safety net, these little surprises are going to throw you directly into debt and completely derail your progress to save money or to even build wealth. And that is what an emergency fund is for. So where do you start, my friend? Your first goal is a small starter emergency fund. So seriously, even just $500 a month can mean the difference between a minor headache and a full-blown financial crisis. Once you hit that first milestone, the bigger goal is to have 3 to 6 months worth of essential living expenses saved up. So if the needs from your budget are $2,000 a month, you're going to aim for an emergency fund of $2,000 times 3 months, which is $6,000, or $2,000 times 6 months, which is $12,000. This is not an overnight goal either. Start small and automate those savings. So take Jordan, for example, right? He set up an automatic transfer of just $50 every single paycheck. And after a year, he had over $1,200 in his emergency fund, right? And once his transmission automatically failed, he was able to pay for those repairs in cash. That consistency is what is going to build your safety net over time. Even if you start with just $50 a paycheck, you are building the habit, and that is more important than any amount. Step number 3 is about you learning how credit works. Okay, so listen. First of all, you need to understand and know what your credit score is at all times. This little 3-digit number, usually between 300 and 850, has a huge impact on your life. It can determine whether you're going to get approved for an apartment or a car loan, or more importantly, the interest rate that you are going to pay. Your credit score comes from 5 areas: your payment history, credit utilization, age of credit, credit mix, and new inquiries. So if you have a $1,000 limit and you owe $900, you're using 90% of your credit limit, which means your credit utilization is too high. This is going to cause your credit score to plummet even if you pay on time. So if you don't know these, you're always going to feel like you're trying your best but never seeing any results. So reduce your utilization from 90% down to 30% or less. And also, don't be afraid of credit cards. They can be a powerful tool if you use them right. The golden rule is to treat your credit cards like it is a debit card. So only charge what you can afford to pay off in full at the end of every month. If you do that, you're never going to pay a penny in interest, and you're going to build a fantastic credit history at the same time. You are entitled to a free credit report from all the major bureaus. So get in the habit of checking your credit regularly. Step number 4 is all about using your money to make more money as well. Investing is not an option here, right? If you don't invest, you cannot outrun inflation. Simple as that, okay? Period. But let's simplify this for you real quick. Investing just means that your money just goes to work for you without you actually being there. The simplest and easiest way to start is with index funds, ETFs, or retirement funds like a Roth IRA, 401k, or fractional shares. So let's take Jessica, for example. She started investing $50 per paycheck into an index fund in her Roth IRA at age 28. By age 32, she has already seen her initial contributions grow by over 30% without lifting a finger, just because she put the power of compounding to work. So you don't need $1,000 to start. You don't even need to know everything, my friend. You just need to get started, even if it's just with $20. Your future self is going to thank you for this. And that brings us to our final step, which is the one that is going to tie everything together, which is setting clear financial goals. If you say to yourself, I want to get better with money someday, guess what? Someday is never going to come. But if you say, I'm going to be debt-free by November of 2026, or I'm going to save my first $5,000 by next summer, or I'm going to start investing every month from today forward, that makes the goal more achievable and attainable. So Put a date and an amount of money to every financial goal that you set. So, what is it going to feel like to have a fully funded emergency fund? Write down the goals and accompany them with actions, which leads us to our last example for this video. So, take Andre for example, right? He gave himself 2 years, aka 24 months until his 30th birthday to save $10,000. $10,000 divided by 24 months meant he needed to save $416 a month. He focused on that number, and by his 30th birthday, he hit that deadline. Not only did he have $10,000 in his bank account, but he also was able to know that he could do this. Once your brain starts doing the math, it looks for solutions. It finds opportunities. Deadlines create urgency, my friend. Urgency creates action, and action creates results as well. So here is what I want you to do next. Start by downloading my free Spending with Purpose tracker. It shows you every single leak in your budget. And then grab the Financial Freedom Budget template. This one is going to build out your monthly plan and long-term strategy. And if you're serious about leveling up, book a coaching call with me as well. We're going to build your entire financial system from scratch together. So the links are going to be in the description box below. This is Fuanyi reminding you that wealth is built step by step and decision by decision. If you found value in this, then hit that like button, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear this. And before you go, I want you to always remember that the best time to invest in yourself was yesterday. The second best time is right now. You got this.